Coming up, we'll tell you about the Greater Accra Regional Minister's latest stance on the Sakumo Ramsar site demolition exercise. We bring you a playback from Anloga, where there was a beautiful display of culture at the historic climax of the Hogbetsotso Festival, which was colorfully graced by the Ga Mantse, Otumfuo, and many others. We play back the Kume Preko reloaded street protest, and at the same weekend, highlife legend Abe Crentsil was laid to rest, and police foiled protest over Blekusu Sea Defense Project. Welcome to Graphic Online's News in Brief. We start from the Sakumo Ramsar site, where the Greater Accra Regional Minister Henry Korte has tasked homeowners to halt all development while the key stakeholders hold discussions on the regularization of the over 4,000 homes that have been developed at the site by encroachers. Failure to halt constructions over the next 3 weeks, according to the minister, might see the Regional Coordinating Council and its partners moving in to pull down the buildings that have been marked within the call zones as well as the buffer of the site. The regional minister gave the warning at a stakeholders forum organized by the Greater Accra Regional Coordinating Council at Sakumono on Sunday. The meeting was aimed at discussing modalities for a roadmap on the regularization of some 4,000 homes that have been identified to be out of the call zones, as well as what to do with those within the call zones. Over the last 2 decades, individuals and real estate developers, he said, have illegally acquired the lands, developing nearly 2,500 acres of the 3,500 acreage site, of which no form of taxes were being paid to the state.
There will be a roadmap which will ensure a win-win situation for all of us. We are hoping that the Minister of Lands and their technical men, and listen to me, please. From Monday, the security intelligence agencies will provide protection for the technical officers. They will be on the field again, and let no man touch any of them. Come to Kami. They say they are doing so well. If you touch them, I agree.
And from Sakumo, we take you to Anloga in the Volta region and play back some of the excerpts of the Hogbetsotso Festival, which was climaxed on Saturday. There was a beautiful display of culture at the historic climax of the festival, which was colorfully graced by the Ga Mantse, Otumfuo, and many others. The Grand Durbar of the 60th festival attracted traditional authorities from 2 kingdoms, who were accompanied by a large retinue of sub-chiefs, courtiers, and all amidst a beautiful display of art and culture. Various Ewe cultural troops from Benin, Nigeria, and the diaspora put up performances to illustrate the migration of the Anglos from Noche in Togo to their present location, to the admiration of the people at the Durbar, who came from many parts of the country. The Durbar was graced by Vice President Baumia, the Asantehene Otumfuo II, the Koumaihene Dasibre Kuamoe Japan II, and the Ga Mantse Kentucky Teikochru II. Some of the cultural troops relived the migration from Noche, while others displayed the military gallantry of the Anglos, holding the gathering frozen in awe with their benignant footsteps and vigilant guard precisions during the journey. Young women and girls dressed in kente and exotic clothes also excited the chiefs and the people at the Durbar, with a slow procession to the ground, after which they sat on stools, mats, and grass at various spots. The arrival of the Awomefia, Togbesri III, at the ground in a dazzling and flamboyant kente cloth generated uncontrollable euphoria among the crowd, giving security personnel a hectic time to ward off spectators who set towards the dais to take photographs of him. The Anglo state anthem was later sung on an emotional note to set the tone for the Grand Durbar. Vice President Baumia, who was the guest of honor, paid glowing tribute to the people of Anglo for preserving their rich culture over the years and bequeathing a legacy of honesty, hard work, and discipline to the future generation.
Cultural sustainability in itself has to do with maintaining cultural beliefs, cultural practices, heritage conservation, culture as its own entity, and the question of whether or not any given culture will exist in the future. The people of Anlo have come this far with their unique culture and tradition, and preserving such culture and heritage will be a legacy for the future and unborn generations.
Our forefathers knew who they were and what they were doing when they forged a concrete alliance between Asante and Anloga during an era dominated by intense warfare. In the past century, both Asante and Anloga collaborated on many issues as the country struggled through periods of change. Asante Mine dutifully created an Anloga division as an equal part of the traditional administration of Kumasi. Indeed, we have gone further to create a unique traditional system of governance which provides for every ethnic group to be represented by its own chief on an equal basis. The Anglos, and the Ashantis and the Anglos, they have brought the whole Ghana here today.
The Hogbetsotso Zak commemorates the exodus of the Anglos from Noche in Togo in the middle of the 17th century to their present location after fleeing the tyranny of King Agokoli I in that kingdom. The large gathering at the Deba included Ewes from Benin, Nigeria, and the diaspora, and people from Europe and the United States. Among those who paid homage to Togbesri on the eve of the Deba when he sat in state was former President John Dramani Mahama. And in Accra on Saturday, scores of Ghanaians embarked on a peaceful demonstration to protest the high cost of living and called on the president, his vice, and the Minister of Finance to resign. Dubbed Kume Preko Reloaded, the demonstration was convened by the outspoken private legal practitioner Martin Pegbu. Participants, mostly in red attires, comprised the young, the old, and women. They were joined by pressure groups, the Economic Fighters League, and Fix the Country movement. They marched from the Obra Spot at the Kwame Nkrumah Circle interchange amid brass band tunes and commentaries from megaphones through to the Farisco traffic lights, Liberia Road, and ended at the Black Stars Square. In Tema, the late highlife legend Abe Crentsil was laid to rest last Saturday. He was buried at Ewoya near Salt Pond in the Central Region. The funeral rites of the legend was held at the Community 8 No. 2 Park at Tema, with many people in attendance, including former President John Dramani Mahama. And before we go, a planned protest by some residents of Ketu and the Ketu South District over the stalled Blekusu Sea Defense Project after 1 year that tidal waves hit the area has been foiled by the police. The second phase of the Blekusu Sea Defense Project has not started despite assurances from the government. The last year tidal waves on that stretch of the area were devastating to the extent that the whole area is yet to recover from the ramifications of the sorrowful event. The police are said to have told the organizers that they do not have enough men to guard them because of the unrest happening at the 7 Seas Salt Limited at Adina. They therefore advised the demonstrators that they should shift to another date to be agreed upon between them and the police. Last November's waves were the third and the heaviest experienced in the area after the initial two, which effects were minimal. Our news in brief is brought to you by Graphic News Plus.
Download your Graphic News Plus now and choose your preferred package daily, weekly, monthly, and annually, and access free news on various interest areas as well. Visit us on graphic.com.gh for further information. Graphic News Plus, connecting people through news.
Thank you for watching. For more news, please visit our website graphic.com.gh or follow us on Facebook at Daily Graphic and on YouTube and Twitter at GraphicGH. I am Enoch Dafa Frimpong.
Subscribe now.